When you're a child living in a high-rise building, there's not a lot of room to play. One public housing estate in inner Melbourne has a solution, and its play space in the grounds of the estate has just received a makeover, as Claire Slattery reports.
6-year-old Helina reckons her new playground is the best she's ever seen. All afternoon she's been climbing, sliding, hanging and swinging along with her neighbours, schoolmates and friends.
I've never been to a playground like this, and you don't even have to drive a car, you just have to walk. It's easy peasy.
Helina's mum moved to Australia from Ethiopia. Helina was born in Australia and now lives with her mum and brother on the 6th floor of a high-rise in Fitzroy's Atherton Gardens public housing estate.
That's my building. Can you see the taller one? Brown and white. That's my building. And there's another one the same. There's 4, like one there, and one there. One day. We all the time come here because this is our playground. Because in these floors, we don't have areas to play in.
This is no ordinary playground of primary colours and off-the-shelf equipment. The structure, Coalflowers, is made from recycled steel and rubber conveyor belts sourced from the mining industry with solar panels that will power the site. It was designed and built by Victorian sculptor Benjamin Gilbert.
Given a lot of the people that use the park are new arrivals, there's a sense of renewal and rebirth of life and to thrive. We're surrounded by quite a few high-rise buildings, which is unusual for Australia, and they have to observe this object every day. So it has to give, in that respect, it has to give. And it's sort of a dystopian Treasure Island feel when there's a few plants around it and they bring some colour, and it's intentionally drab in colour because the kids activate the space. Instead of things being bright and colourful, they are the action.
Benjamin Gilbert is also behind the Acorn Play space at the National Arboretum in Canberra. He says the term adventure playground has a very specific meaning.
This is a closed space, so it has a defined cohort, the students that come in, and it's children-directed play. So there's people that are either volunteered or paid to facilitate activities, and traditionally adventure playgrounds have involved a lot of bent nails and hammers and bonfires and things like that. So different to a public playground.
By this definition, there are just 5 adventure playgrounds in Australia, and Cubbies, as it's known, claims to be the first. Margaret Harrison is the chair of Cubbies, also known as the Fitzroy Adventure Playground.
Cubbies started in 1974, and we had grotty old cubbies on here, and it was dirt and it was wonderful, and the kids loved it. And we had a goat and we had sheep and we had everything else and chickens and all the rest of it.
Since then, Cubbies has run on the goodwill of volunteers and supported generations of children.
This playground services some of the most disadvantaged children in the whole community. They come from refugee backgrounds, many of them have mothers, some of them don't have fathers. There's 8 to 10 children in families, and they really needed somewhere to play. This, for the Atherton Gardens estate, is their playground. This is their backyard, and it needs to be somewhere safe, it needs to be something that's secure, and it needs to be something that's actually directed play at some stages or another, because some of these children are quite traumatised.
Cubbies will now be handed over to Save the Children to operate. For Margaret Harrison, its legacy is simple.
Oh my God, so much fun. That's the message I'll get from it. Look at them running in now. Look at them. Screaming in and screaming up. They'll just have such a wonderful time. And look, if they just have smiles on their faces, that's enough.
That's Margaret Harrison, the chairwoman of the Fitzroy Adventure Playground. Our reporter